So we have two kind of IDEs. We can see that them as for simplicity as an integrated development environment, which is Jupyter Notebook and Spyder. Before using Jupyter Notebook that we'll be using in our course, we'll be looking at let's see first what is this Spyder thing. So we know that the Python is interpreted language, and it compiles line by line. In traditional programming languages like C or Java, you have to write all the program first, and then first of all you'll compile it, okay, the complete program, then you get the output of those things. But in Python, it is an interpreted language, which means that it executes line by line. So you can while writing down your program, you can execute your program line by line. So it's not necessary that you first complete your program and then it should be run. So this is the interface of Spyder that we get when we open this thing. So it's kind of traditional IDE like NetBeans or Visual Studio or something like that. So we can do our code here and we get the output here. So it's actually the IPython, that is the Python kernel, or what you can say that executes the Python code inside this thing. Okay, so all of this thing is you call it as an editor. You just write here code, it displays that in beautiful and nice way, and the actual execution of the code is done by IPython, okay, which is Python kernel. So we can write directly up our code here in this area, and you can see that we'll be directly getting the output here. So we can write here hello world and see what happens. So when you press enter, you can see that you got the output here, and it also remembers the context. And for example, you declare here the variable and store the value 12, and you can, in the next statement, you can display the value of a, and you can see that it's displaying the 12. So it doesn't mean that every new line is considered as a new program. It actually know in what context it is running, and it displays you the output that was previously it actually integrate itself to the previous statements that you just executed. So this area works actually as an editor, and we can write the program here. When we'll be running this, we can see the output here. So let's do something. For example, let's get an input from the user first, and let's write some message that enter some number, and after that let's print this thing. So we are writing here the complete program, and when we'll be pressing enter, it is asking for user input. For example, you will be entering 45, and you can see that it is displayed on the console window by this print statement. Now we can see that we have executed our program here, and we saw the output here. We can also once the program is execution is completed, we can use that expression in our text statements and see what happens. So what is this saying? That can only concatenate string to string, not an integer. So we know that when we have entered the 45 number, it's a string actually, so we cannot use this concatenation concept here. So we'll have to do this thing. We'll be looking at concatenation in our future lecture. So here you can see that it actually combines the original input value of 45 with this 45, and we can see that here we'll have the output of 45. So this is actually the environment of Spyder that we this Spyder IDE has a very nice feature of debug, that for example, your program is running and you're going to find out, you want to find out that where is actually the problem if you're not getting the desired input or output. So you can use this debug feature of Spyder IDE to actually find out the actual area which is problematic. So to explain this thing, first I'll have to do some code here or write some program here. And as I have not taught you about anything about Python programming, so I don't think so that this feature is right now, it's not a good time to explain this feature. So once we go through some of the concepts of Python, and we'll be able to write some program, then we'll be using this debug feature to evaluate the problematic area, and we can see that in our future lectures. So this is all about Spyder IDE, that how this development environment works, and what is IPython. So see you in next lectures. Thank you.